Yes. Hello, welcome to Talk Sports, your home for football debate, transfer drama, and Premier League match previews. I'm your host, Adeyemi Shegun, and today we've got a packed show for transfer saga, involving Nicholas Jackson, the Chelsea striker, and not just that, Rio Ngoma, the former Chelsea player who joined Liverpool, Isak, and Ojlund, and about more to the big questions of which veterans should stay or leave other top clubs, and of course, we preview the massive EPL clashes this weekend. Chelsea versus Fulham in that big massive West London derby, and also Manchester United versus Burnley. That is the mighty against the Leicester side, but Manchester United are not looking like that team we used to know them for. And the biggest of the weekend has to be Liverpool versus Arsenal. But I'm not alone in the studio tonight, and joining me at Premier Sports Fan Center tonight are always our residents football brains, Yemite, and also Paulo tonight. Yemite, good evening, and you're welcome to Premier Sports Fan Center's Talk Sport this night.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Shego. Good evening, Paul. And it's so good to be back with the guys on set. And let's just dissect the meal on the menu.
I can see us so much happy. Chelsea actually won their last match. It was a big scoreline for Chelsea,
Massive.
and I can see that in you.
Yeah, as a Chelsea fan, as a world champion, as a current World Cup holder, the only team to have won that title, the only team with the gold badge on the top, and the only team to have won it all. It is not easy. It is Chelsea.
Yeah, you have to talk about the bragging rights when it's wherever Chelsea fans talk about it. Yeah, they are the world champions, so you have to give
Chelsea fan.
You have to give it to Chelsea. I'm not a Chelsea fan, so you can't actually push me to that. I also have with me in the studio Paulo, who is bragging with his Arsenal jersey. Yes, they actually 5-star performance against Leeds United, and he's here in the studio. Fantastic performance, 6 points from 2 matches, and your next game is Liverpool. Good evening, Paulo.
Yeah, good evening, viewers, and good evening, Shegun and Yama. Thanks for
this kind of ego is getting so much like this.
No.
We are people that win without nothing to show for it.
Be humble.
Yeah, feel good to be back here once again, and like you said, Arsenal we are riding high on the league now, and this weekend we are facing probably one of our biggest tests so far in when it comes to the English Premier League. So I expect though I know we'll still be back here before that time, but for now I believe Arsenal we are heading in the right direction.
All right, they are heading in the right direction. And the right direction the viewers can get to is just to subscribe on Premier Sports Fan Center and click on your like buttons whenever we are in the studio to give you all the analysis of football around the world. And don't forget the Carabao Cup between Grimsby and Manchester United is currently on, and that game is currently in the 15th minute before the end of the program. And whenever we finish the program, we'll be giving you updates of the scoreline in that encounter. Grimsby currently have a corner kick against Manchester United, but we're running away from Manchester United straight to the transfer update. Right now, we have to run through to Bayern Munich, who have reportedly reached a verbal agreement with Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson. The Bundesliga champion are pushing for a loan deal, but Chelsea insists any move must include an obligation to buy Jackson, with the Senegalese striker who still has 8 years left on his contract but hasn't featured yet this season due to suspension, and is said to be considering his future after new arrivals like Liam Delap and João Pedro increased competition at Chelsea. Yemite, you're a Chelsea fan. Should Chelsea cash in now or Jackson, or rather fight to keep him as a part of their long-term rebuild process?
I think Jackson is one of those guys that you can't really trust their attitude, and whenever they are not even playing, them being loyal to the club can be really, really tested. So I think that the best bet is for Chelsea to cash in on him, and I think Chelsea got him a little over 30 million
euros.
And if Chelsea gets maybe a double of that amount, it's not bad. And with maybe possible sell-on clause also into the contract.
Yeah, but talking about that, Bayern Munich are very much interested in him, and earlier on from my sources, I could get that yes, Bayern Munich are interested in sending in a 55 million euros, which is possibly around 45 million pounds, and about 10 million euros, which is talking about 6 million pounds as loan fee. So that is going straight around 50 million pounds is what they are offering for Chelsea right now for Nicholas Jackson. Looking at amount Chelsea actually sold him, because I'm very sure Chelsea are interested in building that FFP. Looking at UEFA's right now, that yes, we are not interested in the total of your squad list. What we are interested in is what is submitted after the group stage, for the conference league. After the group stage, the plus and minus has to come from that list, and we know that Jackson is very much included and Nkunku is very much included. Some deals are not included right now. The likes of Viega, which Chelsea has actually sold to Villarreal, the likes of João Felix are not involved in that. Some deals like Xavi Simon is so much tied to Nkunku. What are the chances if Chelsea doesn't sell Nkunku? Do you think Xavi Simons will be a very big miss to Chelsea not getting this in this transfer window?
I think it will be a big miss. We saw the case whereby whenever Cole Palmer is not playing, Chelsea switch off. So you can't rely on Cole Palmer for close to 70 games in a season. So you just need somebody that can come in and slot into that role. And Xavi Simon, you see, you cannot get better than a player that wants to willingly come to. They will give their all, they will give everything. It's just like Garnacho too, that's willing to come to the world champion. So when you look at the way the Chelsea hierarchy have been handling the transfer business, I think they have been doing a good job. And I think Xavi Simons will come, Nkunku will go, Jackson will go, then Garnacho will arrive.
Alright, let's see if Garnacho and Xavi Simons will be joining Chelsea in this transfer window. And Paulo, straight to you, would Bayern be the right move for Jackson's development, or is this too soon to give up on the Premier League? After 30 goals in his first and second season involvement with Chelsea, and Chelsea are wanting to sell Nicholas Jackson right now. Do you think Bayern Munich will be the right move for Nicholas Jackson?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, you made mention of wanting the other time that Chelsea wants Bayern Munich to they want to add is this sell-on? I mean,
sell-on clause.
Sell-on clause.
No, obligation to buy.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea are in no position to do that, because we saw what happened with the guy they loaned from Manchester United last.
That obligation. It's a different situation.
Well,
the obligation let me know. Contractual agreement is different.
Yeah.
Now on Jadon Sancho, there was an obligation to buy, but there's a penalty. So it's left for Chelsea and Bayern Munich right now to agree on penalty.
And the penalty was because Messi
He didn't agree.
Played the Europa final.
Apart from Messi Mount right now,
yeah.
Jadon Sancho didn't agree to Chelsea deal.
Yeah,
It's one for you to agree with a club, and it's left is another for you to agree with the player.
Personal
terms
Chelsea cannot pay that 350.
He's struggling to get 150 right now.
Yeah.
Now he could have taken that 180.
Yeah,
I don't know who is advising him.
Yeah, so aside from that, back on Jackson and Bayern Munich, I think it will be in the a right direction for Jackson, because when you look at Bayern Munich, I don't think they have two strikers other than Harry Kane. If they have any other person, I'm not really sure if he's even better than Jackson. But Harry Kane is about 33, 34 years now, and though he's playing the Bundesliga, but in the next 2-3 seasons, we'll definitely be leaving. And you have the likes of Jackson, who's I think between 23, 24 now. It could be a long-time plan, for Bayern Munich. And if you get there, I think you will get a lot of playing time, because they want to be, given a break to what's his name now. Talking about Harry Kane. So I think if Bayern Munich can, acquire a signature, but one thing Jackson needs to know now, that if he joins them, he might not be getting playing time like the way he has been playing at Chelsea last season. So. But in the long run, I think it will be benefit both teams.
Oh, against all, we have the first goal in that game between Grimsby and Manchester United in the 21st minute. Is Grimsby who has broken against all, then got on the first goal against Manchester United in the 22nd minute. And we sending the Grimsby fans into wide jubilation, because they are currently playing at their home turf. Would have thought 22 minutes is what it took Grimsby to get the first goal against Manchester United, and one of the most successful club in EPL. But Grimsby got the first goal. That is what he gets in England against all other away from Nicholas Jackson and straight to the Chelsea. Still talking against Liverpool. Rio Nguma, who we saw score that goal against their last opponent, Newcastle. The winner goal against Newcastle, 16 years old, and Rio Nguma has quickly become a breakout star at Liverpool, scoring the winner on his Premier League debut against Newcastle. But Chelsea are demanding compensation, taking legal action to secure a tribunal fee after the youngster left Coburn without signing professional terms. Should big clubs like Chelsea be entitled to compensation when academy players refuse contracts or refuse scholarship or professional contracts, or is this simply a football business?
I think there should be compensation because you can't drill.
You have to look at how much they spent on
Yes,
developing that
on
player from the age of
developing
8 to
you have to.
16.
They have to demand it because the facility didn't drop from heaven. It's not his parents that built that facility. The government did it. It was Chelsea that invested in him, paid coaches, paid technical staffs to groom them to become who they are, and you just want to live on a free just like that. I think Chelsea should pursue that, and not with bad blood, but with just trying to chase justice at the end of the day. And the guy has a Nigerian descent also.
Yeah, Adigun.
Yeah,
Chima.
Yeah,
Igbo and Yoruba. But do you think he will be able to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Looking at the fact that England are actually lacking on that left attacking front option.
But you have to consider the fact that he has an African background.
Yeah, I actually saw
decent.
Liverpool actually put the slogan on their Instagram. Agbabola was what they actually telling us. So it's left to save Rio Mungoma, Adigun Chima, or Chima will be playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He has Ademola Lookman to actually compete with. And talking about the present African Footballer of the Year, that is who he has to compete with on that position. Straight to you, Paulo. How far do you think Ngomo can go at Liverpool? Is he the future superstar, or do we need to slow down on the hype? We saw you hype so much about Doman, who is currently at Arsenal, 15 years old, and right now we are seeing Rio, who is scoring his first goal in the EPL at the age of 16.
Well, good one, for him to be scoring in the English Premier League at the age of 16. Not many players, can post up that. But at the same time, we just need to, reduce the hype, not overhype him. I get he's a good player, and we've seen that, and he has shown that even in preseason he has been, a very fantastic player, coming up for Liverpool. But I think we need to slow down. We don't need to, overrate. And I believe Liverpool will definitely, monitor his progress, because you can't just be throwing him or starting him. You saw how he came in
at the beginning of the
Newcastle.
season. Liverpool had made it clear. One of the reasons they didn't recruit on that left side was because of Rio. So they wanted to give him a playing time.
It was actually a big news for Chelsea, because they actually fought it that yes, they actually offered him a lot of money, but Liverpool offered more money than what Chelsea was offering for a 16-year-old kid, and it actually shows the reason why Liverpool were offering that big money for him. So he's a big prospect. Talking about Rio, that is one name. Yes, we've seen what's it called, likes of Lamine Yamal of Barcelona, and this guy is currently proving that yes, he's one winger to actually watch out for in the APL. Away from that, and still talking about Liverpool, who are causing confusion at Newcastle right now. Reports suggest that Alexander Isak is determined to leave Newcastle despite holding talks with clubs. Director, the Swedish striker, has attracted interest from the top European clubs, raising doubts about Newcastle's ability to keep hold of their stamina, even though they are playing in the Europes. They are playing in Europes and come next year. Would selling Isak undermines Newcastle's project, or could the money be reinvested to strengthen their squad?
I think that the best option is to let go of a player that wants to go. One of the things that you enjoy from a player is that when a player is willing to play for your club, when that willingness is left and you have 120 plus million on the table, you can recruit about 3-4 likes that can grow up to be another Alexander Isak. So I think for me, they should just sell him and try to sell him as soon as possible so that they can get replacement.
Okay, that's the option of my right here on the program that Newcastle have to sell Isak and get a possibly replacement. Jackson and Lassin at Wolverhampton are currently an option for Newcastle to get. I don't really know why they're not looking at the likes of Tolu Arokodare or the Nigerian striker who plays with Genk.
Yeah.
But Wolverhampton are currently looking towards that way of getting Tolu, and not just Tolu, they are looking at Getafe to get Chris Santos. These are players who can come to the EPL.
He's not a striker.
Is what?
He's a striker.
No, he's not a striker. Is what?
I think number 8 rather.
Yeah. He's an utility player. If you watch him at
But
Getafe,
He's like Joao Pedro.
if you watch him,
He
yeah,
can
some
play
players-
all across.
He plays
body.
But he
Even-
can't lead the line for Wolves.
His primary role before coming to Getafe senior team has to be a defensive midfielder, a DM. That's as a 6, but he's comfortably playing as also as an 8.
And here,
Wolverhampton
the
are
fans-
interested in getting him.
Part of the hierarchy at the Tafe, like they don't want to lose Chris Santos Uche.
Well, if the right money comes, they will definitely lose him. We know
And not
one
just
thing about La
on
Liga.
Wolverhampton right now. Crystal Palace are also interested in getting Uche Chris Santos right
Yeah.
now, and they've actually gone even better than what
Wolves
Wolverhampton
want to.
actually offered. They've offered 20 million pounds or 20 million pounds, yes, to Wolverhampton right now,
Yeah.
to Getafe right now.
Getafe.
Wolverhampton are interested in getting him for 17 million pounds. So it's looking like it's going to be a tug of war between Crystal Palace, who lost Eberichi Eze to
Yeah,
Arsenal,
to Arsenal.
and what's it called? Wolverhampton, who also lost Kua to Manchester
Arsenal.
United. What do you think is the best fit for?
To be Crystal Palace, despite the fact that Crystal Palace just got
Unthinkable right now. Artem Grimsey.
That was a
0
terrible
right
goal
now
kicking.
in the 29th minute, approaching the 30th minute. And that man, Andre Onana, who is playing his first game for Manchester United this season, has considered 2 goals in 30 minutes for Manchester United. The same old Andre Onana. And you can see the manager there is actually looking dejected. And do you think Benito starting over Andre Onana is justified tonight?
I think that he you see, he's the second goalkeeper he starts in games like this most times. So and he's now the second goalkeeper. What is this?
What was that? What was
What
that?
was
It shouldn't be going to the air
What
like
was
that,
that?
for
was
Christ's sake.
silly.
Okay, let's go back to talksports.
So-
Yes, as it stands right now, Manchester United are currently trailing 2-0 at Grimsby. But if you are a
How
punter,
did they
you can put
judge
your money
this?
on Manchester United to actually come back and win this game against Grimsby. That was an lost
that's an handball.
movement. Yeah,
That's
let's
an
see
handball.
what VR. I don't think there's VR in the early stages
there's
of
no VR in this stage.
what's it called, of the Carabao Cup. Well, let's see if Manchester United will be on their way out of the Carabao Cup. We're still talking about that man, talking about Isak.
Yeah.
Paulo. Is Isak truly world class, or is he an overrated given his injury records and goals return?
Well, I don't think he's overrated, and at the same time, I don't think I think world class should have a category, but if you look at his performance in the last 2-3 seasons with Newcastle, I won't blame anybody that says he's a world class. But saying he's overrated, that is where I won't agree with. But I think if you look at his injury record, it's not something he himself would be proud of, or anybody that watch football. Alexander Isak is a very fantastic player. We've seen it with Newcastle. He doesn't play for the traditional top six that you say, but with Newcastle, they are a struggling team, but they are on the rise. Currently, they are in the Champions League this season, and I think Alexander Isak, if anybody says a world class, I would definitely agree with that person.
All right, you can hear that. Alexander Isak is a world-class player for Newcastle. What's left to see if he can test on Newcastle resolve and get himself that move to Liverpool, which he actually dreamed of. But straight away from that, we move straight to Manchester United, the Old Trafford Gloves, and also in that transfer update with Napoli. Napoli and Manchester United remain locked in talks over Rashford Højlund. United once guaranteed that any move is permanent, while Napoli prefer a conditional loan. Højlund himself is nil on that move to Napoli, and personal terms are expected to be an issue. Should Manchester United cut their losses on Højlund already, or should they give him more times under Amorim?
For me, I think that well, it's the hierarchy that decided that he needs to leave. But for me, I think he should have stayed and tried to like fight for his place since there's now a competitor in Sesco. But I think they want to balance their books. So if it's about the financials, so they don't have a choice than to just get what they can get to cash in on him. 60 million euros is a lot of money
But they're not
because
getting
that
60 million euros from,
yeah, they will,
from
at least
Napoli
they
right
will
now.
get
Around
range
40
of
million
40 million.
is what they might be
To lose
getting.
20 million is not bad rather than losing all 50. Or you look at how much they are losing on Sancho. So I think that that would be a good deal at the end of the day for Manchester.
All right, that's it. That's it from yeah, my time. Paulo. Yes, we know Oshland is coming from this year. Having played with Atalanta, though the returns are not that really something to actually be good
Proud
about
of.
or be actually be
Proud
proud
of
of. But would Syria A be a better environment for Oshland to rediscover his form compared to the Premier League?
Well, I think if he wants to rediscover his form, he should look for probably leagues like the Scottish League, because you look at Serie A now, it's very more competitive than the way it was in the last 4 or 5 years. I think I can in the last 3 seasons now, I don't think there's any team that has won back-to-back league in Serie A. Having new champion. And first of all, you look at Oilons now, right now. I don't know if in fact it depends on the club now that wants to get him. And
Yeah, talks of West Ham.
I mean in Italy rather now to bench at Napoli.
I think Lukaku is not injured.
Well, that is if Lukaku is out injured. But if you have Lukaku and Rasmus Højlund together, I think the manager will still prefer Romelu Lukaku. Look at Inter Milan. I don't think he will bench Lautaro. There's the French striker there. Even at AC, though if he goes to
AC Milan went in for him
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, but I think they're out of it.
Because of
They're also
the
interested in Tolu Aroko Dari right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Because they actually went out on Victor Boniface.
Because
With that.
of
So
the
we have to talk about
injury.
Victor Boniface to what's it called, to AC Milan. Yes, AC Milan actually booked him for the medical. They were ready to pay the loan fee and the obligation, but after medicals, after extraordinary medicals, they had to look at his new surgery and in his new issues. Do you think Victor Boniface is very close to his retirement?
I doubt. One thing about the knee and all these injuries is that over time it can heal. So it's about how the knee is right now. It's not a testament to the fact that it will be the same in the next 6 months. So I think over time it can be better and it can be worse. So it depends on how it is being managed at the end of the day. So
All right, we are so very much interested in Victor Boniface's future, because he is a promising player at the age of 24. We actually want to see the very best of that guy who actually won the Rookie of the Year player in the Bundesliga. And straight to the transfer window, we are still on that. And who stays or who leaves are the clubs. Let's debate which current players should remain key to the clubs, and we should move on in this transfer window. We start with Chelsea. Raheem Sterling still at Chelsea, and the likes of what's it called? Raheem Sterling is the biggest name on this right now. Do you think Raheem Sterling should be staying at Chelsea, or should he be moving?
I think he should move. The manager made it clear last season that he's not his type of player. So you don't want to sit on a year whereby you are expecting World Cup in the upcoming month. So I think the best bet for him is to leave right there.
Okay, we'll go straight to Arsenal, where we have Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, the likes of the captain Martin Odegaard, William Saliba also on this transfer update. Looking at Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, we saw Arsenal going to the transfer window, get the likes of that player from Valencia, and they are also moving straight to get a player from Leverkusen right now. Ekup, if I'm not mistaken, right now. These are prolific player. Ekup. Do you think probably this is the time Arsenal actually feeling that William Saliba might be moving to Real Madrid?
Well, I don't think so. And if you look at the guy from Bayer Leverkusen. If we get him, if he's confirmed,
Yeah,
he's
it
not
has to
even a
be. It's,
replacement
what's
for
it has to be for Gabriel.
yeah, it's for Gabriel. And you look at Mikel Arteta because he wants and if you look at the kind of player he has been bringing in, there are players that can play multiple, and he can also play from the leg. But probably he's trying to look at what's his name, his record, Califori, because we know he's always injured. But if you ask me about players that needs to leave or move, at Arsenal, in the coming days now, I think Jakob Kiwo will definitely be joining Porto. He's closer to joining Porto, and Zinchenko might be moving. But Gabriel Jesus, I'm not sure because presently now he's not fit. So I don't know if there's any club that will take him, though he's back training, but not with the full team. So I still expect him to see him there, but I think Zichenko and Kiwo might be moving, and we still have some players like Sambi Lokunga, who is still with the team, needs to also go, and even Rhys Nelson also.
Okay, there's no way we'll talk about it without moving to Old Trafford, Manchester. There were a lot of players are currently on the transfer market. And Marcus Rashford has joined Barcelona on season-long loan. Bruno Fernandes is still being linked with a move to Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. Harry Maguire has lost his starting position. Jadon Sancho has been pushed into the bomb squad. We have Rashford Højlund, who has been linked to Napoli. Lisandro Martinez also training with the bomb squad. We have Alejandro Garnacho training with the bomb squad. A lot of bomb squad at Manchester United right now. Yeah, mate. Who is going to blow that bomb right now?
Yeah, I think there will also be bomb detector at the Manchester United also. So let's see at the end of the day. But it's just a testament to the fact that Man U has been incredibly badly run for a few years now, giving players Umengo salaries and all those things.
I think that's why it's a big issue. Because
I
was having that argument with someone earlier on today. Then it was like, yes, it's not about the salary, but it's about the player growing more ego at the club. Do you think ego is the issue right now? We saw Alejandro Garnacho, coming all out and saying that yes, he wants to make the move to Chelsea. Jadon Sancho has refused about 3 offers. Yeah. Right now, and he says he's waiting for the one that actually fits him. Who has the more power? Is it the player or the club?
I think when you put a player on 350 in a week and there's PSR and FFP, you are the one on the losing end. The same way PSG. If Donnarumma doesn't move, PSG will not.
Big problem.
Yeah, a big problem because they brought in another goalkeeper after they've not even sold Donnarumma yet. So when you put a player on 350 and you bench him, it's not a wise thing to do. So I think Jadon Sancho now is at par, like he's the one in control. You can decide not to go. His 350 will stay, and it's still on. I think 2 years left on his contract. So when you have a player like that, and I don't blame him for not accepting that Chelsea deal. You have a free 350. The club doesn't like you, but either they like you or not, they'll pay you. Either they want it or not. So I think that the guy is at advantage right now. So it's advantage Sancho.
Oh, big move from Manchester United here. But Ahmad will be getting that equalizer. Moving from Manchester United to the most successful side when it comes to England. Liverpool, a lot of also doings there with some Darwin Nunes left the club. Dominic Szoboszlai, who actually played as a right back in that game against Newcastle, is also on the transfer move. And Trent Alexander-Arnold has joined Real Madrid, and Alex Becker. But I think we've seen Alisson Becker played on the last 2 games for Liverpool. Is there an issue with Liverpool? Did they have any players they have to move on right now?
Yeah,
I don't think so, because I think the players they need to move on. They've all gone. Talk about the goalkeeper they said to I think Brentford. They sold Carvalho to the same Brentford and a lot of players. But at the moment, I think they want more addition now than letting any player go. I will be surprised if Liverpool releases any player. Probably maybe they are under 21, just to bring in more money. But presently, I think Liverpool they don't have anybody they want to let go.
Yeah, man, we've not seen much of Florian Wirtz since joining Liverpool. Is it fast becoming a big 150 million euros flop?
No, I think the first game he got an assist, and that can still hold some water. But over time, it will grow into the team.
What about Ekitike?
Ekitike is a
Three
top man.
goals
He's a
right
top
now.
man. He has to score. There's no
And
other
do you
way.
think he's actually doing better than Darwin Nunes at Liverpool?
I think so. I think Darwin Núñez. I think Darwin Núñez had had the worst
Before
conversion ratio, even
before
compared to Nicolas
Nicolas
Jackson. It was the first. Nicolas Jackson
I
second.
actually want Chelsea to keep Nicolas Jackson.
Honestly, Nicolas Jackson is not bad. It's like that Salah story. He finds his scoring boot. He's one all of
But
his
do you think
striker.
now, talking about Nicolas Jackson right now, because I know you are very much a Chelsea fan. I know how much you've criticized Nicolas Jackson,
Yeah.
just like Mikel OP. But looking at him right now, do you think the best thing is for Chelsea to loan him, or is the best for Chelsea to actually sell him off?
Had it been Chelsea just got one striker, maybe brought in Joao Pedro, I'll think of a loan plan. But you have two strikers already, and they signed a contract, long-term contract. So I think the best thing is to move on from Nicolas Jackson, business-wise.
Okay, you can hear that on the best things for Chelsea is to move on from Nicolas Jackson. And we'll move straight to the preview of some matches on this weekend. The first game has to be Chelsea against Fulham in what happens to be a West London derby. Chelsea are still finding rhythm under Maresca of this season with injuries and testing their depths. Fulham, meanwhile, a trickery opponent who thrives on frustrating big opponents. Looking at it, can Chelsea bounce back from early turbulence and make Stamford Bridge a fortress again?
Yeah, I think so. They need to give their fans something to cheer at the early stage of this season. And what a way your rival, your not London fellow neighbors Fulham. Just try to show what you are made of and do the needful. Chelsea needs to go all out and take that one.
I know you don't like Chelsea. Looking at the jersey, you actually want tonight.
He supported West Ham.
I'm very sure. Yeah, it's
Chelsea.
just West Ham against Chelsea. I'm very looking at it for that. Yes, it's going to support. Wow. Okay, talking about it with Fulham compact style exposure. With that exposed them Chelsea lack of creativity without Colwill and Lukaku available for Chelsea right now. Do you think Fulham can actually push forward for a victory against Chelsea?
Well, first of all, I would like to correct that statement.
You want to
made by
retrieve
Yemen.
what?
You know,
What do you want to retrieve?
I didn't support
No.
West Ham.
You
if
wanted.
I was-
Well, I was here in the
no,
studio.
Then
You
if-
said West Ham was
then-
going to get a victory against Chelsea.
No. I said West Ham were probably the worst team.
No, you said they were going to get. I just wish we can just
No,
go
we
back.
can
You
go
know,
back.
it's
No,
a
our
video
viewers
we can
viewers
replay.
Thank God it's on here. Our viewers can still go back.
I was
and
here.
check.
I anchored that show. I
this
actually
is
anchored that
probably
show.
maybe you are mistaking me.
I
for
mistake.
someone
What?
else. Because West Ham
Mistaken
have
for
seen-
someone else?
You know, after Chelsea win like that,
No.
they
I
can
was
deny.
I was actually in the
It's not
studio
about
for that
denying.
program.
Well, we can always go back to it.
I wish my producers can actually go back. I wish my producers can actually go back to that and give us what Polo actually talked about the other day when Polo the doc was actually in the studio talking about Chelsea and West Ham and fixture. Because I was very sure that he actually talked about West Ham. This is the best option. This is the best moment for West Ham to get a victory over Chelsea. Are you talking your words right now?
Probably not me.
Well, who was talking in the studio that day?
It's okay if you deny what you said, because
people are not fan.
If you have
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
a team other than West Ham, I would have.
Wow.
If you have mentioned Sunderland or Burnley, I would have said I said so, but no.
You
West
can
Ham.
mention Fulham now.
No.
Okay. Let's move on from that. Let's move from that.
Fulham is quite different from West Ham. Though
Okay.
they are also a London team, but you look at the way Fulham have been going with their business in the last 2 seasons. You see that they're a team that's making progress, and we saw them their last match against Manchester United. They had to come from behind to get at least 1 point. And you look at Chelsea, the first match they played at home. They couldn't break down Crystal Palace, and they had to share this. And now they are back at home again and playing against Fulham. A team that is more or less like 2 or 3 dogs to them, and it will be a very very I expect a tough game, and I think it's early kickoff also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12:30.
And we know early
Ah,
kickoff are always
examples.
surprises. It's always cagey, but well, I want to say it now on here. I'm not denying this. You can replay it next tomorrow and next tomorrow. Fulham will definitely get a result from that.
Okay, my producer and my camera guys, what's it called? Show Light and Amaka should get that in book. He says Fulham are going to get a result against Chelsea, but I'm very sure you guys will do justice to what happened last week and give us what Paulo actually said. But typical Arsenal fan, yes, they always take back their words. But I'm very sure he actually said West Ham will get a result against Chelsea, just like he said. Well, straight away from Chelsea, straight to Manchester United against Burnley. Manchester United struggling against Fulham, but this time around they are coming up against Burnley, the newly relegated. I think they struggled. 1-1 is not actually the result we expected.
They almost lost.
Yeah, they actually, if not for that, a controversial goal against West Ham against Fulham. I don't think I would have gotten a victory in that game. But away from that, United are searching for consistency under Amorim's Burnley looks to avoid another relegation scrap. A clash of style. United possession heavy approach versus Burnley defensive discipline. How much patience should United fans give to Amorim if results doesn't come quick?
They don't have a choice. There's no other way out for them. It's not as if they have one savior that can save them. So I think it's going to be patience that they will just have to stick with. Maybe look at the manager till January, and they can go from there.
Okay, yes, you can hear that from Paulo. Could Burnley take advantage of United shaky defense and pull off an upset in that game?
Well, at the moment, I can't write that off. I think if Burnley look back at how Manchester United have been playing this season, I think they will have the belief that we can go to Old Trafford and get a result. And presently,
so you think Burnley can get the results?
Yeah, because presently right now there's a live match going on between Grimsby Town and Manchester United. And Grimsby Town, a team in lower divisions, I think League 2, is currently beating Manchester United by 2-0 now. Leading rather. And Manchester United have not scored a goal this season. Half
time in that game between Manchester and Grimsby is always Grimsby currently leading 2-0 against Manchester. I'm so disappointed as a Manchester United fan right now.
Yeah, and if Burnley can Burnley will say.
I don't really know why you're laughing.
Burnley will definitely say, Grimsby Town can get 2 goals against Manchester United.
We can actually do better.
Can also get that a team in League 2, and compare. So I think if Burnley goes to Old Trafford with a mindset and believe that we'll get something. With the way Manchester United have been playing, I think only.
Okay, lastly, we go to the big one this weekend. It has to be Liverpool against Manchester United. The first, the defending champions versus the near losers. We call them the wooden. We call them the what? How can I put it?
Second to none.
No, it's not about second. I'm looking for that.
Nearly.
I'm looking for that adjective that actually best classify them.
Yeah.
I'll get it later, Sha. But talking about that on Liverpool against Arsenal,
almost
yes, a blockbuster early season clash between Liverpool's defending champion under Arne Slot faces Arsenal's desperate to finally turn on the Navy into champions. Paulo, you're an Arsenal fan, you're done with this Arsenal jersey. Is this the year Arsenal finally topple Liverpool, or would the rest experience another proof too strong again?
Well, I think I would like to first of all, you talked about Arsenal nearly or not nearly.
Are you guys not
We've been coming close, and I think we'll get there this season now. Talking about the game now this weekend, it's not going to be an easy game. We're going to Anfield, a play. I think after Liverpool, I'm trying to remember, there's a team again now that Mikel Arteta failed to beat away.
Okay, away.
Yeah, on their own ground. And then Anfield, and I'll try and remember the other stadium where he hasn't gotten 3 points.
Not Chelsea.
That's 3 points. No. Yeah, he's gotten more than hundreds of points yet. So
hundreds? Are you kidding me?
Lots of points there. But I know Liverpool hasn't gotten 3 points there. But I think this is the right time for us to get that 3 point at Anfield. And if we can go to Anfield now and get that 3 point, I think every other team will definitely take us more serious.
Okay, Wounded Lions is what I was trying to remember because you guys are currently the Wounded Lions in England. Yes, that's what we call about.
Who wounded them? Or they wounded
Liverpool and
themselves?
Manchester City.
They
actually
wounded themselves.
They actually wounded them. No, they wounded them. They are not. They are not part of it. Yeah, mate. Lastly, with which battle will define the game more? Looking at the midfield control of Arsenal, or will it be the striker showdown? Will it be striker's showdown of Guy Corres against Ekitike in this game?
I just think that it will be a battle of who take their chances, because there will be few chances in that kind of a game, and because both have good defense, they have good goalkeepers, and they have players up front who can be the game changer. So I think whoever take their chances at the end of the day.
All right, so it's a pleasure having you guys in the studio to
Thank you for
dissect
having-
everything about football.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Okay, and that's all from this edition of Talk Sports. From transfer sagas to scale down reviews and blockbusters, EPL fixtures this season is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic yet. Big thanks to Yemite and also Polo for their insights, and to you, the audience, for turning into Premier Sports Fan Center. Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Chelsea sell Jackson is in Gomoa, the real deal for Liverpool, and who wins that weekend? The fixture between Liverpool and Arsenal. Join the debate in our comment section. We'll be back after this match day to break it all down. Until then, this is Talk Sports, where football lives and breathes. See you next time when we come back to the studio to decide or to dissect football, and not just football alone, or sports around the world. My name is Adem Shegun, and it's been a pleasure being your host on Premier Sports Fan Center. Till we come your way again, it's bye for now.